I got hired for $500 in AI videos and I sent back a $25,000 growth system. Here's how. What's up, guys? My name is Dondre and welcome back to another video here on the channel where I'm showing you guys all things sales, marketing, SaaS related, lifestyle content, and much more. So a day ago, I got a text message from a really good buddy of mine. He just introduced us. Text message looks like this. And we get to talking, and the main ask was simple. It was make a few AI videos for my buddy. So what I sent back was not only the AI videos, but a full marketing plus tech infrastructure overhaul. Okay, and here's the breakdown on exactly how I did it. Now, this company has 40 plus years of experience. They run a multi-state operation between Florida, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, and Louisiana, right? Free multi-million-dollar liability insurance for landowners, guided outfitter trips, hunting leases, the works. Incredible, right? I looked at their website. I get the text where I'm asking more information. You know, I need to know a few things before I can just let the prospect or the client know what my services cost. Now that I've sent over all this free value, people are like, oh my gosh, these are people that they know they need help. They know they need AI. They just don't know where to start and implement it. And if you can position yourself, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do that in this video and what I did during this call. Now, real quick, same business, same audience, 33% the revenue. Right now they have 18 paying members. They are, they have no automations. And I'm going to get into what I show over the phone, how I pitch this before we get on a call, what I'm sending, what I'm saying, and what type of close techniques I am doing. And in the end of this video, you're going to actually know whether or not I landed this client. So as you guys can see, in the text messages previously, the client list that she is doing everything manually. They are cold calling and door knocking to get clients, and they are being the hunters, not the hunted. Ironically enough, they're in that industry, so I felt that it made sense. There's 6 bottlenecks costing this company signups, sleep, and 6 figures a year. So I express this and go over this with them on the call. So number one, you have to manually access grants to people when they become a member. GoDaddy has a ceiling. There's no automations. There's no CRM or ad infrastructure. 0 paid acquisition, meaning you have to just rely on your SEO or social media channels to actually get in front of people, right? Manual weekly emails, only 1 tier, which I explain later could actually be hurting them, which I'll go into when it comes to margin for ads and premium signals. And then the site doesn't actually know, it actually doesn't sell you what to do. So 40 plus years of experience with multi-state free liability, none of it really resonates and shows the way that we're going to show right here in this video. So look, this is what I put together. I put side-by-side comparisons before and after of their on a computer and a mobile version, right? Everything we do is built to be mobile optimized, right? So exactly what your visitors see today versus what they'll see next week, right? I actually showcase the landowner page does most of the heavy lifting. The free liability above the fold, there's an income calculator. So it can actually, the landowner can slide and say, hey, I have 5,000 acres in the Midwest and we want to lease this property, right? So we can give them an immediate estimate on what type of income they can expect. Now, this company doesn't charge anything for the landowner to work with them. I believe they make a commission when the property is leased through their platform. So real listings, right? A real filter system. Hunters can browse listings, game type, price, and then members see properties locked 30 days earlier. Now, I told them, hey, look, people right now in the public can't even see this. You've got to be able to allow people to at least see something and then lock it to where, if it is a membership, they have to actually, pay the membership in order to grant access into the rest of the system. But still, you would want to have these things available if you're running traffic or if you just, in general, you want people to know what you do. This is going to be important. So I explained to them, hey, 1 tier full access. Right now, buyers are researching at 11 p.m. with no price on the page. So that's a huge issue. So you have to actually click around on their website to figure out how much money they actually charge. This fixes that entirely. I went into the conversation of the conversation no one was having with them. Not that I was trying to change what they do or act like I know it all, but just knowing the marketing space enough to understand how paid traffic works. Guys, when I explain this, it hits home in so many different levels. I explained that $200 is keeping them small, and I'm going to explain why. And the way I did that was just by telling them, hey, this is your target. Like at your current rate, this is what it looks like. It's the highest fulfillment. It's the tightest margins, right? You really can't profitably run ads. And then your CAC is actually $200. That's actually burnt in the first year of lifetime value. So I said, hey, look, if we reposition this, because you have an elevated presence, an elevated positioning, it's way easier for us to actually charge $349, which you actually hit your ARR goal in 8 months instead of 12. And then you obviously have another option, which is less fulfillment at 300 members for $500 a year, $150,000 ARR. And then you have 50% fewer members, premium positioning. And then you can actually afford to go and pay for ads. So at $200, afford to spend $50 to acquire a $200 customer. But at $500, you can spend $300 and still profit month one. At the $200 price point, it really just doesn't add up. So that right there is super important. So then I go in directly to the comment that she made of too many spoons in the pot, right? These people will tell you what their pain points are as long as you ask the right questions. So same input, two different machines. This is where Cheyenne's at in the business right now. Members pay via GoDaddy. She has to physically send it, get an email, manually grant access, add to the email list, send welcome emails, write a witty weekly drop. You know, you have to do all of these things where we just implement a system done for you using Go High Level Services and some of the things that we learn in the SaaS community that we have been involved with and we have been working to build. Right? So what that does is it buys back really 25 hours of Cheyenne's time, and everything is on autopilot. So like right now, scaling to 600 members is like going to be a challenge because you don't have these systems in place. And then let's say you were at 600 members, like, are you going to be doing all that stuff manually at 600 members? If it's taking you, 25 hours a week at the current member volume, how much time is this going to waste? Just, obviously, if you're doing everything manually versus automating everything and getting to your goal. So I go over, hey, what the next 12 months look like if, the cost of doing nothing, which is pretty simple. So I just go run through this, ask them if they have any questions. And guys, by the way, like, I'm not just spitballing stuff. I'm asking, hey, does this make sense? Do you understand? I'm asking for verbal cues so that I know I can move forward in the sales process, right? If there's something that they're not seeing or clicking, like see their face, see their body language, and read their energy to find out if this is something that like they're confused about, or are they having that aha light bulb moment where they're ready to move forward. So that's the first thing that I said. Now, once we actually get on the call, it's, hey, how was, great to connect. I hope you're able to watch the Loom video. What takeaways did you have? What stuck with you? What stood out? And then from there, we're connecting and almost getting into the next part of the sales presentation, which is actually showing them the funnel and the automation, like the actual math behind it. So actually explaining to them that every dollar you make flows through these 5 stages. And right now, you only have one that exists in your business. And that's why you're only getting 1 to 2 signups a day instead of quietly getting 5 to 10 extra signups per day without losing any sleep, right? So number 1, you have to attract, which is SEO, meta ads, Facebook, social media, Google ads. You got to capture. So you've got to get some type of contact information, email, state, whatever they're inquiring about on your site, which is a lead magnet, maybe the AI chat widget, the calculator tool. You got to nurture these people that you talk to. Meaning you got to follow up. You've got to set up sequences, drip email campaigns, SMS campaigns, retargeting, and then you got to convert by, having frictionless signups. What we do is we implement Stripe right away within their business, and welcome sequences fire automatically, right? And then retaining becomes a lot more easy because you guys already have the property, you have the expertise, you have the knowledge, you understand how landowners and hunters think. All you have to do is just do what you guys do best and let the system work for you. So I explained that, hey, honestly, right now, HuntRec has, stage 4, which is the sign up, and a hint of stage 5, but everything before it, that part is the part that brings new people, which just doesn't exist. And so right now, it's just really, you're relying on word of mouth, or you're literally going out and trying to find clients by door knocking, which is calling landowners, calling hunters. So I told him, hey, look, straight up, like, this is what I recommend. SEO is gonna be number 1 thing that we do for you guys. Starting out, like, we want to make sure we optimize the new website that we put together, especially at $200 a member. Paid ads are going to cost $50 to $150 to acquire 1 member. And SEO costs nothing. So it only works if the site is built for the search. Now, I go over and explain how this works. Like if they operate in these different states and they're not populating properly on Google, people aren't even gonna be able to find their service so that they can lease their land to them, right? So I said, look, the math is always gonna math, right? When it comes to numbers, we're gonna figure out what the metrics are gonna be, and then we can always tweak and make changes to the creative, the funnels, the messaging, etc. Now, I explain, hey, look, there's 3 different messages, 3 different temperatures. You've got, cold, warm, and hot. And I kind of explain what the messaging and what the ad creatives would look like for each of these. And so I say, hey, look, why this works at $349 but not $200? Look, at $200 a member, you can spend $50 max to acquire one, because the average meta, you can't, you have to understand it's all going to break down to the averages, right? The average meta right now with outdoor CPL, cost per lead, is $40 to $80. So math just doesn't work. At $349, again, you can spend $150 to acquire and still profit on month 1. But I explain how the funnels work, right? You guys right now, you don't have any traffic, and we're going to change that. So from 10,000 strangers to 30 new members, this is what 1 month of running a system looks like, right? So we get 10,000 impressions, let's say at a low conversion because our offer and our ad creatives are just shitty. We only convert at 10%. That actually hit the site. But out of the 1,000 people that hit your site, how many do you capture with your lead magnet? Whether it's the calculator tool, the AI chat widget, the voice AI agent, or someone inquiring about a hunt. Well, let's say we capture 30% of those 1,000 people, that's 300. And then out of the 300 people that we actually engage, we get 90. And then out of the people that actually pay, we've got 30 members. Now, paying a monthly at $200, over the course of 12 months, it's $72,000 in new annual recurring revenue. Guys, I don't think you guys understand, but like when I started this call, we were talking about AI videos. Like you have to educate people and show yourself as valuable first by providing value and going above the brief, right? So I explained that, hey, there's 4 doors that every visitor walks through. The property drop emails, the landowner calculators, the AI chat concierge, the free guide lead magnet, which would sound something like, hey, this is 10 things every landowner needs to know before leasing their property. So like you guys are already experienced. I tell them in this field, educate the people that are watching you so that when they sign up, they already know what you do and why you are the person they are paying their money to, right? So here's the email engine that converts 30% of their leads. I explain this. Like they say they have thousands of emails that are just sitting there. No one's contacting them because there's no automations or systems set up. They're leaving money on the table. If this system was set up, the AI videos pay for themselves. So I explained, hey, we're going to send a welcome email, maybe a founder story, a featured drop, member proof, soft pitch, direct ask, and then last call, right? So over the course of 10 emails, every 10 emails captured at 30% of leads, that's 3 into paying members. So again, right now they have 0% of the conversions on emails because there's no sequences or anything set up and everything's being done automatic or manually. So I explained, hey, here's how the system and the machine works. Each box is a moment in the customer's journey. So blue is a thing they do, green is a thing the system automatically does back, and orange is the decision that the system makes for them. So guys, understand when you're painting the picture and you're helping them see the bottlenecks and see everything from a 10,000 foot overview, and they see how professional you are, you're not just another guy, you're the only option that they want to deal with. Right? And then once I show you guys how I anchored the offer, I made it so irresistible that you almost feel no, or you almost feel silly saying no, or you almost feel like awkward saying no. So I show them guys what 100, 300, and 600 members actually pays them at all 3 tiers, assuming they keep on the same current tier. Like if it takes us 12 months to hit, 300 members, like that's a huge win. Because that's what she wanted to do, and that was her target, right? And so I go over and explain, hey, what monthly costs are realistically outside of what it costs to work with us, like operating costs. This is what it's going to look like, just straight up, based off of all the merchants and everything that we're going to employ into your account with ad spend and everything. This is what we're going to be looking at. So then, lastly, one of the things that I like to do is go over just like the brand itself and show them like, hey, most people when they fire up a website, a logo or something, they don't even have, a brand deck or some type of tech system that shows them the layout. Because let's face it, guys, if you have a client that eventually wants to scale their business and sell their business, I'm pitching the idea that like, look, if you guys grow to, numbers where you guys do want to sell the business, the buyer's going to ask, do you have these things in place? And so I show them and put together something that actually shows and provides value in the sense of congruency of their business, how it's engineered, the system, and that everything that they get when they work with us, they're responsible for. Like, this is their brand. We don't own this stuff. We are a service. And so when we set this stuff up, we explain that this is all their proprietary software and infrastructure, right? And that's how we're able to pitch larger projects. Now, I'm still new to the industry, so I'm sure that I could obviously maybe structure my pricing different, but just going off of what I've shared with you guys, this is absolutely the way to do it. If you're working with referrals or people that are sending you clients, asking you for one-off tasks, like, you are doing yourself a disservice and other people around you if you have all of this knowledge and skill and you're not providing that value. Now, again, I'm not like some guru in the space that's been making a ton of money. I'm 45 days into the AI SaaS space. But this is what I went and explained to them after we went over everything. Okay, across every package, what ships, no matter what you pick. Okay, I'm going over everything that they're going to get. So these are the core deliverables. You're getting your website, the Stripe membership wiring, the 5 email sequence templates, the systems, the landowner income calculator, etc. Okay, and then I clearly lay it out, right? There's 3 ways to do business with us, right? If you're really trying to take your business to the next level, completely hands-free, with absolutely no involvement, like, you're looking at 25 grand, right? Just straight up, this is going to be the full suite, give you everything we've talked about: 90 days, strategic planning and retainer, weekly metrics, full content calendar, add creatives fresh every 2 weeks, right? If that doesn't make sense, then great. We have another option at the growth package, right? A one-time fee, $12,500 flat, and then $497 a month. And then obviously that's going to include the foundation. That's going to include their meta ad setup. And guys, by the way, this doesn't include ad spend. So when I'm pitching this, I'm waiting for cues. Understand, when I went over everything that I covered, they didn't flinch at none of these, but I can tell you they're leaning between the 12,000 and 500, but by default, because I understand a little bit more of their business with going through a call with them, I have a strong feeling that they see the value in every single one of these, and they're business owners that aren't likely to just jump in at the bottom tier, but maybe don't need quite what we offer on the high end, right? And so I go over, hey, like, look, this is the shared risk play, right? If you guys were to come in at 5 grand, I'd be willing to offer some type of acquisition per member sign up, so it makes it fair for both the business owner and myself. Here is where there's no rev share, but it's just, $12,500 up front, and then we manage everything else from pretty much A to Z. There's just a few things that you don't get, obviously, that you would get with the full service. And then I actually go, hey, and show what the hosting and maintenance covers. So some people want to know, like, why am I paying you $297 a month? Why am I paying, $497 or $997? Again, guys, these business owners don't know what you know. So just because you know how cool all the missed call text back and all the features are with your SaaS business, they don't. So they need to see it. They need to physically understand that this is the value that they're getting. And so I even wrote down a comparison, right, where they see exactly what they're getting when they work with me, right? And then I make 4 guarantees, and this is right here. Guys, if you're not offering a guarantee, it's probably because your offer is not that dominant. If you're offering a guarantee that is so damn good, there should be no reason why they don't sign up. And if your offer is so good, there should be no reason why they don't like the guarantee. So what I offer is 30 days unconditional refund. Look, within 30 days of launch, if you decide this isn't the best money you've spent on this business for any reason, full refund. No questions, no fine print, no haggle, right? You keep everything forever, refund or not. Every asset is yours in perpetuity. Site code, video files, AI agent, brand system, everything. And then they got the hit the milestone backstop. So we agree on a clear launch date milestone before kickoff. If we miss it for any reason within my control, I keep working at no cost until we hit it. So no retainer creep, no scope renegotiations, right? And then the no harm clause. If anything, we build disrupts their existing operation, current member access, email deliverability, current revenue, I fix it on my dime and within 72 hours, regardless of the cause. So guys, this is how I'm pitching these products. This is how I pitched this client today. And I'm super excited, but I can't wait to have more qualified business owners in front of me to go ahead and pitch. And guys, you guys should be excited and fired up for sales. We're here, it's 2026, AI automation, AI agencies, the technology, the resource that we have available at our fingertips and at our phones is unreal. So take advantage. If you guys want to learn more from me directly, reach out. If you guys want to get inside of my community, we'll be launching something super soon. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys on the other side, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go.